Good, clean contact and a nice result. And a chance for birdie coming up. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business.
As they say, 300-yard drive, one shot. Miss a short one, also one shot.
Yeah, that's painful. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Action is underway, and we'll take you out to hole number 4. Frank, when you get out of the gates, as our featured golfer has done, with a lot of pars, steady play, what's the mindset?
You've got to keep doing that, Rich. Just maybe get a little closer to the hole, drive a little bit better, work on the pace of the putting. Just little gains, and then all of a sudden you're going to notice a big difference in the scorecard.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy. Frank, that's not one you're necessarily thinking about making.
No, just a good putt, though. There's no two ways about that. He's putting well.
That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Don't forget, second round coverage coming your way tomorrow here on EA Sports. For our entire crew, I'm Rich Lerner saying so long for now. EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present second round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Moving into the second round of the Web.com Tour Championship, the fourth and final stop of the Web.com Tour Finals. And Frank, you can feel the pressure building.
You certainly can, Rich, and I expect that we're going to see more of what we saw yesterday, which is some fearless golf. And these guys are playing for a PGA Tour card, and they're not backing down.
Just a good solid tee shot right there, about 280 yards. Getting set now for the approach at the 15th.
Yeah, good-looking second shot here, but you've got to be precise. Hardly a flat spot on this green. This looks like it's going to find the target.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
And he's made the green, just a couple of feet. Workmanlike hole, he walks away with a par. Now the start of the gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18. Par 5, 16. Frank, Tiger made birdie here all 4 days in winning in 2013.
Fred Couples made that fantastic eagle many years ago. Hole bends a little to the player's left. You don't have to hit driver here if you're a long hitter, but you really must move that ball right to left.
Now the second shot to the par 5.
Off the beaten track. You've got 5 minutes to find it.
Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. Coming out of the rough and right up next to the hole. Now this for birdie, came away with par in the previous round. Needs a few more of those. That was a good birdie.
Yeah, this time that one gets him in the top 10.
Frank, the winds are starting to swirl now. How difficult is this shot suddenly?
Well, now it's a nightmare. You're looking at that spot in the middle of the green, and now you're guessing on the wind. And if you're guessing on a shot that's this short, everything can go wrong. So the thing is, do you really want to have it in the lap of the gods?
Certainly had enough power, just didn't have any touch. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Nudge this one home, finish it up. Did the job right there. Now to the final hole here at TPC Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. Frank, is this one of the toughest finishing holes in the sport?
It is, because the simple reason you've played 17 holes and the job isn't done yet.
Frank, not the longest hitter, but sometimes you win tournaments by putting it in a good spot, and that's where we are right here, 280 yards out.
Yeah, 280 down the middle of the fairway. That'll never get you in trouble.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. And getting ready for the putt. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. 2 rounds in the books, Frank, and a good spot from which to make a move.
Yeah, well positioned. Really, you know, if you're leading, it's a different pressure. Being in the chaser pack there, playing well, what a great position to go into with 2 rounds to go.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present third round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Up to the 12th, Frank, and a good birdie chance here.
Yeah, good old length, short par 4. This green really divides itself into about 3 sections. There's a little piece to the right, piece short left, and the one at back left. So as long as you know where the flag is, just push that ball into the section where it is. You get up there, you're only going to have 10 or 15 feet left for birdie.
Great strike and a great result. Sitting up, good chance to attack the flag. Now the approach to the 12th. Frank, what's the player looking at?
Well, it's a fun shot here for the second shot, especially if you've driven it down the right side, because then you can see the flag no matter where it is on the green.
Early part of this back 9 and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie. Par yesterday. Now for birdie.
Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than...
That's a good par there, Rich.
And Frank, we always like when they have the hole location back left and that ball trickles down, feeds. You can see some really good ones and maybe even an ace here.
Yeah, just like Mickelson a few years ago. Down there, it looked like it was going to flirt with the bunker, ran up and over the ridge, and in it goes. This is one where you have to play ground ball as well as high ball.
That is an excellent play right there. The approach, getting him another good look.
painful, painful lip out. It was a good putt.
Absolutely can't believe it. I thought that thing was stone dead in the center. So just a formality here. That's how you maintain momentum. Make those putts for par. Fourteenth hole, 481-yard par 4, ranking second in difficulty, Frank.
Yeah, this one always gets overlooked, Rich. You've only got to flick the drive a little left, and all of a sudden your round just gets completely wrecked. Ask Vijay Singh. It cost him a Players' Championship. Many a player there has dealt with that left side. You will pay the price.
Frank, challenging approach shot here at the 14th.
Yeah, there's some subtle mounds in this green. One that comes in on the right, and then another one that starts to come in about 2/3 of the way down on that left side. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
That will be a great look at birdie. Not a gimme, but well within his range. Well, yeah, birdie, Frank, and another shot closer.
He's sniffing in the right direction.
Back to the TPC Sawgrass, the 15th hole. It's a par 4 as we make our way to this finishing stretch. And Frank, what's in store for the players here?
Another one of those par 4s around 450 yards. Ideally hit a tee shot down the right side, keeping away from that bunker. But that's a flat bunker down the right with no lip, so it's still not too bad. Biggest problem here is that green. So many undulations on this green. Now, green is cleared. Have a good look at it there. Looking at a standout, former standout that is, in college, and about to be, perhaps, a new star on the PGA Tour next year.
Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie.
Well, that birdie has to feel even better, Rich, with everything so tight at the top.
Right in the middle of a Donnybrook at this point. And that wraps up the third round. Just one more to go before we crown our champion.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm looking at my crystal ball, Rich, but that champion that we see tomorrow might be the one just sitting at the leaderboard on top of it right now.
EA Sports and the Web.com Tour proudly present final round coverage of the Web.com Tour Championship. Now to the 15th, and Frank, I know this is a hole that you really like.
Yeah, it gets no respect in my book, which I think is a shame. Just a nice dogleg to the right. And really two good shots and a 3 here, which is actually a rarity. It sets you up for those closing 3 holes. Too often people just take 15 lightly. And 15 has just a gentle nibble that turns into a bite.
Frank, what's the key on this approach here at the 15th?
Well, knowing exactly where that pin placement is, Rich, there's mounding, there's that little gut out of the right side of this green. If you miss your mark here, that ball can easily finish 30 or 40 feet away. Well, it's a little absurd, that, Rich. The shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear committed through impact. Shouldn't be a problem here. Good work right there. He'll settle for par. Frank, I think one of the things that fans love about this gauntlet, 16, 17, and 18, each hole has that sort of hold your breath moment. Certainly 17, we know when that ball's in the air, you're holding your breath. Is it wet or dry? 16, same on that second shot. You're holding your breath wondering, where is it? Right in the water or left with a chance for 3?
That's why you don't want to get too sloppy on that tee shot. A lot of people look at 16 because there's a wide fairway and they think just get it down there. But the extra 10 or 15 yards, there's a little ridge down that left side. If you catch that, the ball will kick good 20 yards further forward. 20 yards is too close. I'd much rather go into 17 with a 4-iron than a 2-iron.
Well, he's on the green, but still plenty of work left. About a 25-footer coming up. Getting set now over the putt. You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Methodically starting to climb the leaderboard now. 4 under par for the tournament with yet another birdie. Through the years, Frank, there have been 6 aces here at 17.
But it's hard to imagine that the last one was back in 2002 by none other than the most interesting man in the game and probably the most interesting par 3 in the...
So toweled off, dried off, and ready to go.
Yeah, let's hope this swing he hasn't still got the floaties on.
Third shot now after the last one found the deep blue.
Yeah, you can still minimize the damage here. It's only one bad shot that you got punished for. Hazard.
Maybe wet. Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
Makeable putt right here. He is currently sitting at 1 under for the round. Oh, I thought he had that. Well, once you hit double to par, it's time to just pick up and move on. Now one of the more difficult holes in golf. The 18th here at Sawgrass, 462-yard par 4. In 2013, this hole averaged .39 strokes above par. What makes it so challenging, Frank?
Just that big body of water that's to the left of 18 here that's also shared to the right of 9. Not a single fairway bunker on this in this 18th hole. So really, lack of definition. It's so hard to find a target here.
Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. So that's a drop shot. Frank, we did see some good golf out there today, but others really struggled.
Yeah, any competitive player wants to win. We don't doubt that, but we know you're not going to win them all. So it's still important for every golfer to continue to gain experience, to actually get something out of each and every tournament they play in.